Well, for this year's orientation, we really wanted to keep it cash because every year this freshmen come in and there's this big spark about, oh, I want a boyfriend, I want a girlfriend, but we really wanted to focus on community this year. And so Kurt put this whole promo together and it was so wonderful. And then we had Vanasse, one of the senior senators, go ahead and do a video promotion, and it was such a great presentation. We were really excited about it.
This is one of the PSAs I had made in response to this requirement. I thought it would go over well with both the students and student development. Every time you get into a relationship over orientation, a kitten dies. But it didn't. Not even a day after it was turned in for approval, it was rejected.
They just sent the video and the posters back, saying you can't do this. And I asked them, why not? What's the big deal about it? And they said, hush now, which was really strange because they didn't give an explanation for it. And it was a really odd answer.
I wasn't satisfied with this position, so I began to investigate. After orientation, I interviewed freshmen about their relationship experiences.
So this summer, when you first knew that you were coming to Northwestern, were you excited about the possibility of getting into a college relationship?
No.
No. Oh yeah, no.
I didn't really think about it. Not really, no.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm here for what?
Now, among you, who's in a relationship now or would like to be in a relationship? Now, did you want to before orientation? What do you think the moment is when your views on college relationships changed?
On the first day of orientation, and I was getting kind of tired, you know, playing ping pong, and so I decided I was going to mosey on over to the water fountain. I could have sworn that the only people in the building were guys. And I go down, and I take a drink, and all of a sudden, in the reflection of the water in the fountain, I suddenly remember seeing a girl. And I stand up, right? And I look around, and suddenly I realize, there's a ton of them here. And all of a sudden, I just start thinking, wow, I need to date one of them as soon as possible, right now.
My interviews with the freshmen had seemed to reveal nothing. I was at a dead end.
Hey, Ryan, what do you have there?
It's a letter. It says, come to the island at 1 p.m. today. All your questions will be answered.
What? That sounds important. Who is it from?
It's unsigned.
Are you going to go?
Sure.
All right.
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
All right.
I've been waiting for you. I'm here to answer your questions.
How do you know my question?
Hush now. You seek to understand the connection between the water supply of Northwestern College and freshman dating during orientation. Also, you're curious as to why Northwestern College will not allow your PSAs to be played during chapel. Is that not right?
Yeah, how did you know?
I saw it on YouTube. Anyhow, the answer to your question lies hidden somewhere in the past. As you may know, when this property was first acquired by the Catholics, this island, where we're standing now, didn't exist as such. It was a peninsula that was later dredged to improve lake flow. It was decided that Nazareth Hall would draw its drinking water from the lake in the newly dredged channel. Shortly after the channel was finished, we have records that water began flowing from the lake. What happens next is unclear. Any documentation concerning it has disappeared into the sands of time. However, I have found a letter from one young boy to his mother that mentions, among other things, that this week he had been particularly thirsty. The rest of the paragraph immediately following this reference was ripped out of the letter when I found it. So, we may never know exactly what he meant by that obtuse reference. 1 week following the start of the water flow, we do know that Nazareth Hall started receiving delivered water. That water delivery continued until the late 1950s, when the Catholics were forced to close Nazareth Hall due to the rising costs of delivered water. When Northwestern College purchased the land, they did not continue the Catholic tradition of water deliveries.
Why?
Well, that's a question I've been pondering for some time, and here's my take. Clearly, the water had some sort of effect on those who drank it. Now, if you can imagine, what kind of effect would be completely undesirable for young boys training for the priesthood, yet completely desirable for a co-ed Bible college.
No.
Yes.
This is Carl Myers. He's a senior who should be having the best time of his life. But instead, he is sad.
Well, I go to classes, I do my homework and get up the next day and do it all over again, but I'm restless and lethargic and listless, and I just find no joy in it. I can't seem to find the happy energy to do things I used to love anymore. I feel that all I can relate to anymore is Bach's third cantata. Och Gott, wie manches Herzeleid. Oh God, how much heart suffering.
What's the matter?
I don't know. I think I'm just lonely.
You never had a girlfriend before. What changed?
Beginning to think some things never will change, Ryan.
He's had overexposure to the chemical triarazine.
What's that?
It's a chemical we found last year while doing some tests on the water of Lake Johanna. We used to take our samples from the beach, but last year someone took them from the channel. And we found some pretty goofy readings, so we did some more research and we eventually isolated this compound.
What does it do?
Well, when it mixes with water, it provokes feelings of attraction, at least initially. We've tested some more potent concentrates of it, and the effects are scary. But the samples from Lake Johanna are pretty diluted.
So this still doesn't explain Carl.
Well, we've also tested that after the feelings of attraction aren't initially met, then there's a certain more exposure, and the feelings of attraction turn to feelings of despair and sorrow. So that's more in the realm of the psychologist, but...
Well, so it looks like Carl's been drinking out of the lake then.
Well, we all have. It's in the tap water. We've done the tests.
The possibility that the cause of both freshman frenzy and ring by spring was in our drinking water rocked me. I knew what had to be done.
I'm here at Dr. Curtin's office. We're going to go ask some questions, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. Dr. Curtin, are there chemicals in the water? Is it true that there are chemicals in water that make ring by spring happen? Dr. Curtin, would you make your children drink the water? I have a cup of water right here. Would you drink the water? Dr. Curtin! I need to talk to Dr. Curtin.
I'm sorry, you need an appointment to see him?
I just need to ask him some questions. Questions that need answers.
Needless to say, our request for an appointment was denied. I had thought that the freshman dating over orientation thing and ring by spring were just unavoidable facets of being young and going to a Christian college. The idea of their being caused not by mere youth and proximity, but by chemical manipulation, was so mind-blowing that I don't know what to do with the facts. Clearly, Northwestern has no desire to change, and who can blame them? The allure of Northwestern's being a magical place where you may likely meet the love of your life has great sway over some prospective students. And the success of triarazine clearly produces the kind of alumni that Northwestern wants as its success stories. We can't change the system.
But I know how I'm going to change my behavior.